guys, it's Deb. Today is a huge day for myself, my son, my whole family. We are going to have an autism assessment done at Mercy Autism Center in St. Louis, and I am freaking out about it a little bit, trying not to, but it's just huge. Our life is going to change forever after today. Yes, my husband says, well, we already know there's, something going on, so it shouldn't be a shock, but we're going to know today. We're going to actually have a diagnosis, for lack of a better word, a label. We're going to know what path we're on and where we need to end up, and the things that we need to do along the way to help Owen. So in that perspective, I'm really excited that we can hurry up and get this going while he's 3, and hopefully do some early intervention. I would have liked to have gotten early intervention started at about 18 months, but I was still pretty much in denial at that point, even though 18 months is when I started seeing kind of some red flags going on. If you guys are joining me for the first time, I do have a background in autism. I was a caseworker with about 60 autistic children on it, and I did that for 4 years, and then I spent another 7 years as a paraprofessional at a special school district. So when I saw the red flags in my son, I did recognize them. However, when it's your kid, you just go into denial. There's no getting away from that. You don't want your kid to have autism. And I know there's so many children out there suffering with way worse things. I totally understand that, but this is my deal. So this is what I'm dealing with. If I had a kid who, had a feeding tube, was in a wheelchair, could, then that would be my... Okay, so Owen is picked up from school. I'm gonna run home really quick, grab daddy, grab baby brother. I just love Owen's teacher and his para. They are so awesome. I asked them this morning when I dropped him off to prepare him, verbally prepare him for a doctor's appointment today, and they said that he is so pumped for it. So that's what I've been calling this to him, doctor's appointment. So I don't really know what else to label it as, but I said, yeah, can you prep him for a doctor's appointment, please? And they're like, oh yeah, what kind is it? Is it a dentist or autism evaluation? So he's pumped for it apparently. I, however, am not. But like I said, I just have mixed emotions about it. I just told my husband, I don't want to end up in tears in this place, but it may happen, because if we get the diagnosis, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be devastated. I know that there are moms out there that are not that I'm not supportive of my kid, but they're so supportive of they do the walks and wear the t-shirts and autism 0, my kid 1, all that, and that's wonderful that they can accept it and stuff. I guess am not there. Like I told you before, I went through a stage of denial, and now I'm just kind of no, even if my kid has autism, we're not gonna act like we have autism. We're not gonna, and I know it sounds stupid, but I'm gonna just fight it. I'm not just gonna accept it and be like, yeah, he's autistic. I don't know. I just can't. If he is on the spectrum, it's gonna be very low on the spectrum because he's highly intelligent, and I just want to enhance that and feed that part of it, not just accept what he can't do. I want to always be pushing him further.
Mommy,
yes?
I got your nose.
You got my nose? Oh, goodness. Oh, there's a turtle crossing the street. Okay. Yeah, I just want to always, just have him strive for more. I'm never going to stop pushing him, ever, 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 because he's so capable of so many things. And I know that's how all autistic moms are. I'm just not to the point yet where I can be gung-ho about autism. I don't know if I ever will be. I don't know if I'll have the bumper stickers. Proud mom of an autistic kid. I don't know. I just can't go there. Does that make me terrible?
Hey.
Yes, baby.
I got your nose.
He's got my nose. We're in the car on our way. It takes about an hour to get there, so We're a little bit early, so we're gonna let him sleep for a few minutes longer and then wake the beast, and hopefully it's not too much of a meltdown. But I'm super glad that he did get a little bit of a nap before we go in, because this appointment is 4 hours long. Okay, it's time. There's no more putting this off. We gotta go in here and find some answers for our kid. So he is still asleep. We're gonna wake him up, try and carry him in asleep while we check in and stuff. They have you arrive 15 minutes early to register. So I'm getting all our paperwork together and we're gonna go in. Ready to come? What are you playing with? Are you not going to talk to mommy? Are you sorting shapes?
Yeah.
You are. Show me the chicken. Oh, good. I like that chicken. Do you like that chicken?
Yes. That pig.
Ooh, that's a nice pig.
That sheep.
Sheep. Ah. Ooh. Who do you have?
A car.
Yeah, your favorite? What are you thinking about?
It's time for ready to go home.
Is it? Yeah, we're almost done, buddy.
It's time for ready to go home.
Has it been a long day?
It's time for ready to go home.
Yeah. Are you sleepy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for ready to go home.
Almost.
Now.
Hey guys, we made it home. I just want to give a rundown like what our day was like in case some of you are going to have your children tested for autism also. I've got Owen here with me, so you'll hear him reading. I signed up for 2 of these assessments, one in St. Louis and one in Columbia, just because the waiting lists are months and months and months long. I signed up for both of these in December of last year, and we just got our appointment now, which is August, late August. So that's how long it takes to get into these places. And so if you're thinking you might be seeing some warning signs and you want to get your kid checked out, I would put yourself on the waiting list. You can always take yourself off of it. So yeah, they came and took us to our room where it was basically set up like a playroom. And the first 30 minutes of it was the speech path basically playing. And that's what they said that the new testing is like. That's like the testing model where they just kind of play with the kid and see like what they are going to do when prompted in a way that's like playful prompting, I guess. So like for instance, she had a baby doll and she's saying to Owen, "Oh, my baby's thirsty," you know, and then in front of Owen would be like a cup, a ball, a dog, and like another doll or something. So like choices, but nothing was spoken about what to do with those items. It just had to come from Owen's, you know, decision-making skills. Which one do I give a baby a drink with? So he did well. He picked up the cup and gave the baby a drink, so that was good. And then she had her little notebook that she was writing everything down in. She was, as he was talking, she was writing down what he was saying, so she could go back and look it over later. Yeah, he impressed me in a lot of the stuff. my husband and I were laughing at a lot of things just to see him like interact and play with someone else and completely different toys than we have at home, and just like her prompts made him do funny things. Like at one point she spilled a cup of imaginary like juice and like spilled on the table, and then there was again like choices like a napkin, banana, and like other things like, oh no, I spilled my juice. So obviously she's wanting Owen to go for that napkin and clean it up, when really Owen just went like this back into the cup. It was so funny, we cracked up. But the funniest thing he did, let me tell you, is the way she was writing down on her notebook everything he was saying. At one point it was a choice, so he had to choose between crackers or a juice box, and he said juice box as his choice, and she didn't write down that he had wrote juice box, so he literally pointed at her binder and said, juice box, like, write it down, come on, I said it. So freaking funny. And she's like, oh, you want me to write that down? Okay. So yeah, it was like he knew exactly what she was doing. He knew that she was writing down every single word that came out of his mouth. So I thought that was pretty smart and super funny. We laughed so hard at that. So yeah, that was like the first half hour, like the first chunk of the day. So then she left, and she was gonna like, oh, and the whole time the neurologist was watching from another room. There's a microphone and a camera like in the ceiling of this room, and Steven and I were not allowed to talk. Owen, please stop. Steven and I were not allowed to talk to Owen unless he addressed us specifically, like, Mommy, I need to go to the bathroom, or whatever. We couldn't prompt him, which I'm so glad they told me beforehand, because I would have been like, Owen, she's talking to you. You know, Owen, you need to blah, 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 because I'm just, like, super prompter. But, yeah, it was just neat to just kind of, like, observe for a change. So when that section of the day was over, like I said, she left, and then the neurologist came in, and was just kind of asking us, like, family history stuff, and, like, questions about Owen and his abilities and his things he struggles with. So I've worked, you know, in the field. I could tell, like, kind of what she was going for, so I knew exactly, like, how to answer her question, because I knew, you know, when she talked about, like, oh, how's his eye contact, I just straight up said, terrible. It's absolutely terrible. He only looks at us when he wants to get our attention, or when I tell him to look at me. So I knew with the question she was asking where she was leaning towards, and at that point started to get emotional. So by the time she was done with the questions, she said that she's leaning towards diagnosing him with autism, and I just, like, I don't know, I would have loved to have seen my face, because I'm sure it just, like, died right in front of her. I was just like, okay. Because obviously that's not the result I want. So after getting, like, all of our personal information, kind of, you know, if we have any autism on either side of our family and stuff like that, she left as well, and they were just kind of, like, having a meeting over all the stuff they had compiled. So when they came back in the room, I could pretty much tell that, you know, they weren't looking very positive, and I pretty much knew the answer. But like I said, going into this, I have had my suspicions since about 18 months. I mean, he's 4 in 2 weeks. So yeah, I've kind of known for a long time, but I just needed that, I guess, doctor's stamp of, yes, this is what you're dealing with. So yeah, they sat us down and said, yes, we find him to be mildly autistic. And I don't know, my world just, like, broke apart. Even though I knew, it still doesn't make it any easier. I mean, I'm glad that I know, because now we can do whatever we need to do for him. Like we talked about ABA therapy, we talked about genetic testing, which we are going to do, because if it is something genetic that we pass down, I want to know about it, because we do have another child, and I want to know. And if the genetic testing comes back clear, guess what? That's all the more reason that I'm going to feel like vaccines did this, because that's whenever I saw regression, was at 13 months. He got his 12-month shots. We were a little late on them, but yeah, and that's when everything changed. So, if the genetic testing comes back and there's something in our genes, then call me crazy. I don't care. But if they come back and there's nothing in our genetic pool that would pass down anything wrong neurologically, I'm going to think, yeah, vaccines 100%, even though I already do. But I'm not one of those people that are just going to say, oh, it's my way and I know everything and I don't need the test. I'll do the test. So yeah, now I'm an autism mom, officially. Something I never wanted to be, and I know that none of you autism moms out there wanted to be either, but this is our lot in life. It's a group I never wanted to join. I'm sad to join today, even though I've been one for a while now. I have to admit it. I don't have to accept it, actually. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I refused. Like, yes, that is his diagnosis. Yes, he has it now. But like I told my husband and my mom on the way home, I'm going to do everything I can. The doctors were, because we live an hour away, I can understand how, you know, maybe some parents don't want to drive that far. I mean, maybe I can't understand that. Wait, no, I can't understand that. Yes, I'll drive an hour a week for him to have ABA therapy. Of course I will. Is it helping him? Then I will do it. I will do anything. I've said this on videos before. I will do anything for him to have a normal life. And if ABA therapy is going to help his meltdown stop, and if speech therapy is going to help his, gosh, what do they call it? It's something where, see, I've always thought his voice was super sweet and just like the cutest little thing. It's got the cutest little ring to it and tone. But apparently, I don't want to say it wrong, but aposity? Speech aposity? It's where his tone and his rhythm of speech is different. In the car on the way home, I talked to my mom and husband and said, you know, I'm going to do all that I can. His whole entire childhood, teen, like however long this is going on. But this is going away. This is temporary. This diagnosis is temporary because I'm going to get him into regular ed, whether it be his second year of preschool, which he just started his first year of preschool. So we're going to go through this in special ed, but then we are moving up. We are moving into regular education, either the second year of preschool or at the very latest, we are starting regular ed kindergarten, because the doctor even said today he needs to be in with peers where he is not the smartest kid in the class. You never want your kid to be the smartest kid in the class. You never want your kid to be the best speaker in the class, because you always want that child to have someone to look up to. Their peers need to be pulling them along, challenging them, encouraging them to grow, etc. Not just the adults in the room. So, I agree with that. So after this year, I'm going to just suck it up, and yes, my child is in special education this year. But you know what? Later, when he is grown and he is smart as heck, like, I'm just going to chalk that up to, he was a slow starter. He got a slow start to his education. His language barriers held him back, and it was one little preschool year. That's what I want to look back and think one day. There is this screening for babies that we're going to do with Julian, because apparently they can like see things at like 6 months, But it's the genetic, like, I'm 0% worried about Julian, honestly. He's unvaccinated, so I'm not worried, because right now, like, that is where I think it came from. So, since he hasn't had any, I don't think he is going to get it, or hasn't. But there are, free screenings available, so why not? And just to be on the safe side, see if they see anything. They're experts in this. The neurologist that assessed Owen today has been in the field for 30 years, so she's seen a lot of kids come through her door. A funny thing is, she said that it's getting harder to diagnose because the kids are coming in so mild these days. Like Owen, she said, is mild, so she must be seeing a lot more kids like Owen rather than like the more obvious kids. So I don't really know what that means for the way autism is going, but I mean, mild is better than severe, so yay. I meet with the genetic counselor in 3 weeks, so we're gonna get that ball rolling, and I'm just like on fire about it. Like, I just feel like I got back from a revival, and I'm just like, okay, let's get moving. I want to get every service that's out there possible, in home, at school, at their center, all of it. So I feel gung-ho about it, but I mean, I have my times, because it's kind of like this right now, because I'll hit a low and I'll just bawl, and then I will just, like, I don't know, rally, and then I feel like I'm like full of hope and that it's all up to me, and yeah, so I try and just ride that wave as best I can. But it's been a super emotional day, and just really hard, and I'm sorry for any parent who has had to go through this and get a diagnosis of autism, or any diagnosis that your child got, because they're all hard. They're all hard in their own way, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, all of that. Like I said before, this is just the path I have been put down. I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I hate the A word, and I hate saying, my kid has autism, or my kid is autistic. I hate it, but I know it's true. I'm not trying to deny it. I just don't like it. But I knew it was coming. Sometimes I think there's more hurt than anything else. There's so much hurt. So if you're hurting right now, I'm so sorry for you, because I am too. But it's okay. We're going to get through this. If you're an autism mom, we're going to get through this, because you know what? We're the strong moms. We have to be, or else how else could we get through this? So we must be strong, right? We're going to get through this. We're going to heal our kids. Don't be sad. Julian's sad. We're not going to be sad. Yes, we may cry, but we're not going to be sad. Also, if you're a parent who has never had to take your child to a hospital to be diagnosed with anything, I want you to pause this video right now and thank God, because that is a true blessing. I don't know that yet. I don't know that feeling, because Owen is my first son, and here we were today. So hopefully I'll be thanking goodness for this, for the health of this little guy, and for Owen's future health. Always thank God for that. It wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't say, please do your research on vaccines. Please, please, please. Especially if you're pregnant, please look into the ones at birth. You do not need vitamin K, and you do not need the Hep B. Hep B only be passed through sexual intercourse and using dirty needles. So unless your child is going to come in contact with a dirty needle at the hospital, which they aren't, and the Hep B is not needed first day of life. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So after we got our diagnosis and I dried my eyes and told our parents, we decided to go get something to eat, which I'll insert a little clip of Owen eating so cutely here. And get a load of our fortune cookies. Crazy. I was thinking it was just me and I just couldn't handle being a mom. I've been beating myself up for quite some time, but I mean, now I know, like, it's legit. I have a challenging kid. It's not just me. I'm not a bad mom. I'm not doing everything wrong. So in a way, today has kind of been like good for me. Just in that way. Like, I hated all the rest of it, but just in that one way, like, hey, kind of like how my fortune cookie said, you're doing the best you can. And I am. And I'm going to continue to. And I'm going to take you guys along with me the whole way through genetic testing, ABA, the infant screening that we're going to do, everything. So if there's anything else you guys want to see, please let me know. If you guys are going through similar situations, please let me know. I would love to go through it together. No one should go through this alone. And I wish I had someone that I was following when I was pregnant and not researching. I did no research. I just followed blissfully unaware of anything that could go wrong. And I really wish I knew more. So, yeah, that's why I'm here. I would never, before Owen, pick up a camera and start talking to it and post it on the internet. Never. I am so shy. It's unreal. But I just feel like it's so wrong if, knowing what I know now, going through what I've been through, if I don't pick up a camera and tell people. So, please share if you can. I know that some of the things in this video aren't aligned with YouTube's beliefs, so they don't probably push my videos, but I feel like what I have to say is important. I'm always looking into things, reading things, watching things on this topic. I'm obsessed. I'm always learning new stuff, and I always want to share it with you guys. So that's what I'm here to do. That is solely my purpose on this channel. It's not to get, you know, likes, and I don't care about any of that. I just want people to watch and know and maybe think, hey, what's that chick talking about? Is she for real? Maybe I should look into this, and then go and look into it. That's all I want. And then, you know, if you look into it and you say, oh, she's completely crazy, that's fine. At least I told you, right? So, but I think a lot of you will find what I found, and maybe you can change your child's life quicker than I did mine. I think I remedied things, but I didn't remedy them soon enough, clearly, because we do have mild autism. So now we have to deal with that. But saying that, the neurologist said that he is very teachable and that she sees him going to regular education school, which yay, and sees him graduating and, you know, leading a fairly normal life as long as we start now. So I'm so excited to start now. I can't believe I did not think I would end this video excited. But here I am. So, okay, guys, let's heal our kids. I'm going to heal mine. You're going to heal yours. We're going to do it together. We're going to be okay. I love you all. I'm so glad you guys are watching and going through this with me, because I truly feel like I have friends on the other end of this camera that understand, and that really means a lot. More than you'll ever know. So, let's talk in the comments. I'm going to go upstairs and take care of my kids now, help my husband out, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.